moves.
And Evan Thompson is with the Weather Service of Jamaica.
Flooding is expected. Landslides are expected. Storm surge is expected. And of course, those strong winds we will not be able to escape, especially if you're in the path of this system and in the path close to the eye of the system.
This American tourist.
We are kind of bunkered down in our resort room. We've got mattresses and furniture against the balcony window and the doors there. We've already prepared to, have a pallet spot in the bathroom in case we have to lock ourselves in there if the window and glass gets broken.
And the hurricane is a slow mover. It could linger throughout today. The sound of tanks and explosions have been heard in Gaza in the most serious test yet of President Trump's peace plan. Israel has reacted angrily to what it says is a deception by Hamas in handing over the remains of a hostage. Reporter Kevin Gardner.
Israel said that they secretly filmed using a drone, and I've seen the footage, and unless it's been doctored, it's pretty damning because it shows what Israel claims is Hamas removing a body from a house, putting it into a freshly dug shallow grave, covering it up with dirt, and then bringing in Red Cross officials and saying, look, we've discovered another body.
Israel says the remains are those of a hostage recovered 2 years ago. A federal judge has ordered a senior Border Patrol official to detail every day's events to her after weeks of confrontations between immigration agents and the public in the Chicago area. Allison Keyes reports.
Greg Bovino responded yes, ma'am, to a federal judge who ordered him to report to her each evening to hear about how the day went amid videos showing the use of tear gas during demonstrations. This Chicago man says he saw tear gas used on his block without warning over the weekend.
This was the opposite of America.
U.S. District Judge Sarah Ellis discussed children being tear gassed during a weekend Halloween event as someone was arrested.
The Texas Attorney General is accusing companies behind Tylenol of deceptively marketing the pain reliever to pregnant mothers. Paxton is an ally of President Trump, who has asserted the use of Tylenol by pregnant women could be linked to autism. More than 1,000 flights have been delayed today. The first day air traffic controllers are missing a full paycheck due to the government shutdown. The shutdown now in its 28th day. On Wall Street, stocks are higher. This is CBS News.
Brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Not only does Progressive let you bundle your insurance, they also give you round-the-clock protection. Quote today at Progressive.com.
Seattle police respond to calls about a man on fire. The story coming up, but first, KIRO News Radio traffic. Here's Nate Connors.
All right, Heather, we've got a full closure out in Mason County, just north of Belfair, southbound 3. Well, actually, both directions of State Route 3 at Northwest Flora Road. All lanes are blocked in both directions due to this collision. Been closed now for about 20 minutes. Detours will get you around this. Outside of this, though, we're looking good. South 5 through Seattle slows just briefly across the Ship Canal Bridge. North 5 continues to look great. In Renton, I'm starting to see building volumes. North 405 near Northeast 44th into Newcastle. This isn't slowing you down too much, though. Renton to Bellevue would take you less than 15 minutes. Seattle to Federal Way, 20 minutes. Seattle to Everett, 25 minutes. Tacoma to Olympia, a half hour. There are backups approaching the Hood Canal Bridge from both sides due to a recent closure for marine traffic. KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Heather Bosch. Amazon's laying off 14,000 corporate employees. Up to 30,000 could ultimately go. Tech companies have been shedding pandemic-era jobs and using more artificial intelligence. Nick Passion with the Puget Sound Business Journal tells me the region has relied on the tech boom to fuel its economy, but
that might not be as reliable of a mechanism for growth going forward. And that's something that officials and lawmakers are going to have to keep in mind as they plan for the next few years.
Senior VP Beth Galletti says Amazon is reallocating resources to better serve customers. Seattle police respond to a call about a man on fire.
Hey, roll, man, roll. Get on the ground. Stop, drop, roll.
Detective Eric Munoz says it happened early yesterday.
The man fell asleep next to a makeshift fire, which unfortunately rapidly spread to his clothing and engulfed him in flames.
Officers used fire extinguishers to put out those flames. The man suffered second-degree burns. Renton police have arrested a 29-year-old man suspected in several smash and grab robberies, including a $2 million heist at Menachie & Sons Jewelers in West Seattle over the summer. Investigators say Deshaun Harrison is a convicted felon who had firearms and drugs when he was arrested. The organizer of a Halloween event in Roy is facing criticism for hosting a trick-or-treat party despite a severe weather forecast over the weekend. A falling tree killed one person and injured 6 others. KIRO 7 TV's Eric Thomas reports.
Cassandra Sanchez Day, an organizer with Centaur Sisters of the Moon events, notes the negative feedback for failing to call off the event despite the windy forecast.
We've been out there plenty of times with high winds and rain. It's part of Washington. It's part of being a Washingtonian. And no matter what time of year it was, that tree could have fallen down.
Now, Sanchez Day does express her condolences to those impacted, and we are still waiting to learn the identity of the deceased.
The 31-year-old Eatonville man was attending the event with his girlfriend. Whatcom County's Twin Sisters Creamery is recalling some of its cheese after 3 people became ill from E. coli food poisoning. All sizes of Whatcom Blue Farmhouse, peppercorn, and mustard seed cheese products made on or after May 27th are being recalled. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Rain today with highs in the mid-50s. It's 51 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO Newsradio App. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
And now, it's time for the Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio with your hosts, Jake Skorheim and Spike O'Neill.
Welcome to the show. Happy Tuesday, October 28th. Jake Skorheim here, Spike O'Neill there. Welcome
Hey, buddy.
to the show, Spike.
Just checking my email real quick, making sure there wasn't any notice sent out to our team.
No, not any firings?
Nothing. Layoffs. Boy, I put my foot in it this morning, buddy. I owe an apology to a coworker. I don't want to name any names.
Is this related to the Amazon land?
Yes, it is, because we see this story, 14,000 Amazon corporate employees laid off. You see the internal memo was leaked. They're doing everything they can to help those impacted by these layoffs.
Sure.
Find work internally inside the company. They're helping those headhunters.
Like cross-promotion.
Right, cross-promotion into other. But if you're a corporate employee in Amazon, you know, you've got a level of stature. You're not driving a truck or fulfilling orders in a warehouse.
Making some good money.
Where else are you going to go in Amazon unless it's a downward trajectory?
I would think, though, that there might be another corporate position that could be available.
That's what they're offering, yeah.
That lateral hiring is what they're saying?
And they're giving them a 90-day window to seek other employment opportunities. They're doing what they can.
So this is a big story. So this is first things first.
First things first is 14,000 people.
And how you stepped in it.
I've got a friend who works at Amazon. He's in a corporate level position. He works in, a division of Amazon that has global impact. I don't want to be too descriptive at a price.
Yeah.
He's
Big dough. A lot of dough.
He's got a nice place, nicer than mine. His kids go to nice schools, nicer than mine. I'll say no more. He's got the exact same name of one of our coworkers.
Okay.
And so I saw the story and I texted him, "Hey, buddy, saw the news. I hope your family's okay. Let me know if there's anything we can do to help." And the coworker with the same name came up to
Who works here.
Yeah, came up to me with this no blood in his face. Do you know something I don't?
He goes, "Wait a minute. Am I being fired?"
So I apologize. I got to be a little more careful with who I type in the name into my contact list, which is 14,000 contacts. That's my first problem.
Yeah. But he's got the same name.
Same
It's
name.
a fair mistake.
Same name. I know, but gosh.
But did you successfully get through to your friend?
He hasn't responded yet. So
boy.
I know.
He
and
might
that's
be busy
that's
clearing out his office.
that's a bad sign, right?
It is a bad sign. So Amazon is cutting, they said 14,000 corporate jobs. They said could be cutting as many as 30,000 jobs. That's 10% of its 350,000 corporate employees. Now this is
a global number, right?
That's global.
Okay, yeah.
But this is not. I mean, think about how many employees Amazon has, and they're about to hire a ton more for seasonal workers.
Well,
which they always do.
So let me clarify real quick, because that's a great question I had when I saw the number.
Yeah,
350,000 that's the corporate level.
That's just the corporate level.
That's not drivers or fulfillment warehouse people.
Correct.
That's not guys who fold up cardboard for me.
Exactly.
Whom I love.
Yes.
Those guys are essential workers.
Who are
the guys who run the blue tape.
At the O'Neill house many days a week.
Many times a day.
Many times a day.
Come on.
Yeah.
I'd unplug my doorbell cam. I was getting notices. I get 15 notices a day.
You're like, geez, Louise, I get it.
I get it.
It's what do they call that? Just like they're just building a distribution hub.
A distribution hub at the end of my street.
Right
I've
in
heard.
your garage.
Right there, saving time and money for everybody.
It's really convenient. The problem is they're really good. Did you see that story? We'll talk about the 14,000 who are fired or getting laid off, but Amazon expects that and I wonder if that's part of this too. The question is like, why are they having to lay off 14,000 corporate employees?
Right.
One of the things, although I don't think it's really contributing to this corporate part of it, maybe a little bit, but the advancement of AI and robots, we talked about this last week. With the advancement of robotics and AI, Amazon expects they'll be able to double their orders, double the amount of packages that they're sending out in the next 10 years, which to me is, I feel like they're at peak capacity
There's not enough road to put double the number. How many more trucks are going to be on the road?
So what Amazon is essentially saying is, with the demand is so high that we can't meet the demand. So in the next 10 years, we'll be able to double our numbers, which to me, again, that doesn't make any sense to me. But they don't need all these employees. That's the other thing, is they don't need all these employees to fulfill those orders because AI, again, these are corporate jobs.
Right.
A lot of the robot jobs are going to be in the fulfillment centers.
Right.
So those
layoffs.
Well,
it's different arenas. Robotic
be a whole
replacements,
different type of a layoff.
AI replacements.
Yeah. So what was your take on this? Like, when a company starts laying off folks, and it always seems to be right before the holidays. Have you noticed that?
That's the first thing I thought. I said, why don't you wait till Christmas Eve, Ebenezer?
Yeah.
Come on.
The reality is you do have to clear these people off the books before the new year starts. I don't know when the fiscal year is for these companies. If it's always the same thing.
Good question.
I don't know if that's a part of it. Maybe. Somebody who runs one of these big companies can probably let us know. You can text us. And even if you run a smaller company, if you have to fire somebody, you don't want to start the new year with them on the books. But what was your sense of why they're letting go of all these employees?
Well, in the letter from HR that was leaked, by the way, the internal memo that was leaked out on this thing, they said in this one paragraph in here, while this... some may ask why we're reducing roles when the company is performing so well. Across our business, we're delivering great customer experiences every day, innovating at a rapid rate, and producing strong business results. What we need to remember is that the world is quickly changing.
Sure. So
this generation of AI is the most transformative technology we've seen since the internet. So many of these jobs that were human jobs that were well trained, well paid corporate jobs.
You just don't need them.
They're just sorry we can do all that with.
You could have honestly, like you could have. This is going to be a big thing too, in law. Like for law, when you hire a lawyer to write up a contract for you. You can now get AI to do your contracts.
Paralegals. One of those industries that AI's got a bullseye on.
Bing! Absolutely.
We talked to the chief of Redmond's Police Department yesterday.
Yeah.
And was it Evans?
The Darrell Lowe.
Darrell Lowe. Thank you. And they're bringing AI in to help do detective work.
Yeah.
But they're fulfilling staffing shortages with AI.
Sure.
Becoming more efficient.
Streamlining their processes. Yeah.
These jobs were being done, but they were done by humans with families getting paychecks.
The other
money that comes into this economy.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
It's heartbreaking for people who lose their jobs, but also there's money that's not going to be coming into the local economy. And we don't know how many of the 14,000 are going to be here in Seattle and Bellevue. Of the 350,000 global corporate employees, there's 50,000 in Seattle, 14,000 in Bellevue.
Correct.
So a chunk of them are going to be here.
Yeah, could be in Seattle, could be in Bellevue. Here's one of the things that I was looking into when I first saw this. I was like, I wonder how much, because my inclination, because I'm so cynical, is that it's always. I'm cynical about governments.
Yeah.
And so it's
rightfully
always
so.
It's always taxes for me. I was wondering how much taxes are going to be affecting these big companies, because they're such an easy scapegoat. Tax the wealthy businesses, yada, yada. In this case, I don't think that's actually has much to do with it. And the more I was looking into this, Amazon grew exponentially during the pandemic. Did you read into any of this?
Oh, yes.
The hiring spree that they went on. So I have some of these numbers
the answer to our prayers.
Well, yeah, it was the answer to Amazon prayers. Amazon's business grew tenfold during the pandemic.
When you couldn't get out, when stores weren't open.
So listen to this.
In
2020, the company added 500,000 workers to meet overwhelming demand. Between January and October of 2020, Amazon hired 427,300 new people just in one year alone.
Right.
That's almost 500,000 in 1 year. In 2020, the workforce of Amazon grew by 1.3 million employees worldwide. And so when you have a hiring spree like that, there is a correction on the other side when things slow down.
Agreed.
Which is what, unfortunately for them, this is also a time when technology is increasing, and Amazon is a technology business. When technology is increasing so quickly that they can start reducing employees based on AI, like we were just saying. But also when you've just hired so many people, when you've doubled your workforce in the last 5 years.
And the emergency's over.
Yeah, and the emergency's over.
Right.
There will be a part of that where, some of the business has to get back to usual.
And
which
I'm sure that the employees affected by this must have seen that coming. These are smart people.
Yeah. They're highly paid. You have this job for 5 years or however, and I'm assuming at Amazon, like it is at a lot of these companies, it's last in, first out. So some of the longer term employees who've been there a long time probably are not facing the axe. And when you think about it, cutting 30,000 people sucks. It's not good.
Yeah.
But if they hired 500,000 people in 1 year alone, I mean, that is a smaller percentage of that number. I mean, that's a very small percentage of the number that they hired.
After fire season, you let some of the seasonal fireworkers go.
Yeah, and it sucks. Anybody listening right now who works at Amazon, I feel awful that you're losing your job and, being downsized, or you're, hopefully you're able to transition, like you said, into one of those other spots.
Right. And within the company, they're making a priority for everybody to see one of these notices to find them work.
Amazon is a growing company, like we just said. Yeah. They're trying to double their size in the next 10 years. So there's going to be opportunities. It depends on how quickly people are willing to learn new skills and try new things.
Right.
Put themselves in.
Relocate their families, maybe.
Boeing is really great about this. I've got a bunch of friends who work for Boeing, and when Boeing has moments of downsizing, the first thing they try to do is they try to find places inside the organization, which is massive, obviously locally here, for those people who work at Boeing to already find some of those skills. How can those be applied into other departments?
That's good. That's just good business.
So hopefully
that's good
Amazon,
human element for business too,
yeah,
right?
But it sucks.
Humanity.
It sucks for the people who are staring down the calendar and looking at the holidays.
And you asked about that was one of my thoughts. Why
it's
now?
Always during the holidays.
Why
but it's
now?
The end of the year.
But I mean, Jeff's not hurting. They're doing great.
Jeff's doing well.
I mean, like the letter said, during these times of incredible growth for the company.
Yeah.
I mean, it ain't like their business is falling off a cliff and they got to just cut people loose. You couldn't wait till January.
It's a bummer. You know what I'm hoping?
Hard candy Christmas, isn't that what they call it?
Sometimes when they have layoffs like this, and I don't know that this is the case, but sometimes they'll do a layoff. They'll say, hey, you know what? Your contract is going to end at the end of the year. We're not going to hire you back, or we're not going to continue your employment. But maybe you get paid through the end of the year. I don't know that that's the case.
Well, they were saying here they're getting 90 days to look for a new role internally, if that's possible. It depends upon various locales and local laws impact. Because what I read in the story today, of the 14,000 announced terminations, Washington, D.C., and New York, only those three locales are going to be taking this first round, maybe first round of corporate cuts.
Sure.
Because they said
probably those are their biggest epicenters of corporate employees.
I was thinking the same thing, right? Yeah, but they're going everywhere. They're in every market.
Have you been in an office when they're going through layoff rounds like this?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Which made me feel even worse about my coworker getting the wrong text.
I know,
right?
We've all been there where you're sitting there and you're watching. You come into work that day. It's always a blindside. It's always a blindside. They're required to I forget what the system is called, but if there's going to be a big bunch of people who are going to newly be unemployed in your state,
offboarded,
whatever they call it, firings, layoffs, whatever, offboardeds, they do have to file paperwork with the state if it's over a certain number. Do you know?
Because it impacts.
We've seen that.
Yeah.
I forget what it's called, but there is a website where they show that. So there is some sense that maybe people have that, things are going to start tightening. And the rumors are always flying around when you're inside a business. We've seen that here. Mm-hmm. In media, it happens fast and it happens swift, and you just kind of keep your head down.
Yeah.
And you sit at your desk and you watch as people get fired. Or maybe you get an inkling, you're like, that person. And then you all start guessing and gossiping about who's really, who is completely useless here. And then you all start.
I don't mean to laugh, but you're spot on.
But that's
I've seen it happen. Yeah.
And I imagine there's probably stuff like that happening at Amazon today.
It's a gray day.
But
it really is, man.
They're just such a massive company. It's so huge. 350,000 corporate employees. I mean, this is a 10% cut, which is not crazy. I mean, Starbucks has done the same thing.
Exactly. I was going to say.
Amazon is just so big that 14,000, that number jumps out at us. But it's because the size of the company is so unbelievable.
Yeah.
But it sucks. So obviously our best to everybody, and hope you find a new spot. All right.
If you need to get calls, maybe we can find somebody who can help you out.
Absolutely. Spike knows a lot of people.
I know a lot of people.
A lot of people name the same name.
You betcha.
He'll pass along some info if you
Tell
need
me
to.
your name. I'll tell you what. I'm so sorry I did.
All right, can we talk about this jewelry heist? They've arrested. Do you remember this a couple months ago? Was it back in the summer? I feel like
it was in
summertime.
August. It was talking about they just arrested a guy.
Just arrested a guy.
This guy was a jewelry thief, and was arrested for multiple.
If I were to describe
smash and grabs,
if I were to describe a jewel heist, and I were to say there was 4 jewel heists. They went in and they smashed up a case and they stole a bunch of priceless jewels. You would think I'd be describing that Paris heist that just happened at the Louvre.
Yeah.
But no, this was a local one. You remember this?
I do. This was West Seattle.
West Seattle.
Middle of the day, right?
Is it
lunchtime, ironically
Menashe and
enough.
Sons? Is that how you pronounce it?
Yes.
Menashe and Sons. Famous, I guess it's a storied jeweler.
Yeah,
here locally.
been there for years and years and years.
So 4 masked suspects using hammers. They broke into the store, shattered a bunch of stuff, display cases in under 2 minutes. I mean, real smash and grab. That's it. Literally. $2 million worth of merchandise, emerald necklaces, gold bracelets, Rolex watches, platinum diamond pieces. None of the jewelry has been recovered. That does not bode well for what's happening in Paris right now, although I don't think they're related. So they finally got a guy. I'm surprised it took this long to get somebody.
Well, what I'm seeing in the story here is this guy was arrested for multiple smash and grabs.
Yeah.
And then 2 days after he was arrested on the 16th of October, 2 days later he was charged in this West Seattle gig.
Yep.
You know, so apparently they had him for other burglaries, other smash and grabs he had done.
So
come to find out he was the guy that also did the West Seattle job.
So they say, let's see, what is it here? Deshaun Harrison has been arrested in connection with multiple smash and grab robberies, just like you said, several weapons violations, which I guess because he has a prior, he's a convicted felon.
Not allowed to own firearms. Right, but
so
look at the table full of guns and drugs they picked up when they brought him in.
$250,000 bail. 3 additional suspects still at large, so now it's about seeing if this guy will flip. This is a leverage point for him.
It sure is.
So if he wants to lower some, I mean, those are like a convicted felon with firearms. That's big boy jail. You do not want to go there. So he's going to be able to leverage this. And is he going to flip on those 3 other people that they suspect were part of this?
And maybe get some of the goods back. Still none of it recovered.
Maybe. Okay, so the interesting part about this, at the time, you might remember this. This was from SeattleRed.com. There was something kind of embarrassing, and it's totally not his fault. And there's no way that he could have known this was happening. But Seattle Police Chief Sean Barnes was eating lunch at a nice little eatery, like right there. And his security.
Just a couple doors
down, literally like yards away, as the robbery is taking place. In fact, the getaway car for the people who are now still at large blocked in his vehicle while he was there eating lunch. His security detail, they had kind of no idea what was happening.
No.
And so, listen, I'm going to read you just a little bit of this from SeattleRed.com. Chief Barnes and security detail were at a nearby business when the robbery occurred, a spokesperson for the Seattle Police Department explained to the Jason Rand Show. They could not confirm the chief was in a restaurant. He could not confirm the chief was in a restaurant. They were inside the business and were unaware of the crime unfolding. The suspects were in and out of the jewelry store in exactly 90 seconds. That's pretty good. His security detail was in plain clothes at the time of the robbery. So, all right. So he's nearby eating lunch-ish or in a nearby business.
And
car blocked in.
Traveling in an unmarked car.
Yeah.
Because I got to think, let me ask you this. If you're knocking over a jewelry store and there's a cop car parked 2 doors down, do you think twice about not going into the jewelry store?
Yeah, of course.
Well, so when you're blocking in the chief's car.
Well, you can see these vehicles. They always say exempt on the plates.
We're not talking about masterminds here. We're talking about guys who run in with a hammer and grab jewelry and run out.
Listen,
these aren't the best and brightest.
These guys now for many months have gotten away with a $2 million jewelry heist.
Good point.
They're not dum-dums. I mean, they might be. We don't know that they're not dum-dums.
I guess my point is, it's time to get away with unmarked cars. Do away with them. If the police chief's going to be in your neighborhood, I want a police car in my neighborhood.
Put a star on it.
Right?
He's a cop.
Put a cherry on top, as they say, right?
Something. The reason we're bringing this all up is just coincidentally they arrested a guy, which was interesting and in the news. But Sean Barnes is going to be on the show with us today at 2:00.
We've had this schedule. We've been chasing this interview for quite a while.
Yeah.
Not since August 14th, but we've been after this interview.
And it's not related to the jewel heist.
Not at all.
It's just one of those funny things that sometimes happens.
Today's the day they got the guy.
Serendipitous. Today's the day they got one of the guys. Maybe it'll come up in our interview with him. That's going to be at 2:00.
2:00, great.
Yeah, so people can tune back in live at 2:00. Should be good. All right, we got a lot coming up. Stick around. You don't want to miss a second of it. there's a scam happening. If you're traveling at SeaTac, this is a
terrifying.
brazen
This is
scam.
terrifying.
This is terrifying.
Yeah, it
I'm
is.
surprised they haven't put a full court press on arresting whoever's doing this, because this seems like kidnapping to me. This seems like a hostage situation or something. Yeah. And they're just kind of writing it off. And I understand that. So we'll get into it when we come back. Stick around.
A 55-yard interception return by Easley.
Celebrating 50 years of Seahawks football.
Number 45, Kenny Easley, as pure an athlete as has ever played that free safety position. Saw him the very first day at training camp after his first-round draft choice. All of us veterans looked at each other and said, we've got something here, and we sure did.
Since the beginning, KIRO is where Seattle and the Pacific Northwest have heard the Seahawks play. Here's to the next 50 years.
Every time I turn around, my friends at Pure Talk give me one more reason to feel good about switching. This month, for instance, they're supporting Canines for Warriors, a terrific organization that trains rescue dogs and then pairs them up with combat veterans struggling with PTSD. The result? They're saving lives on both ends of the leash. This is why I switched to Pure Talk. I like being in business with an American wireless company who shares my values. Yeah, I appreciate unlimited talk, text, and plenty of 5G data for just $25 a month, and I bet you will too. But I think you'll really appreciate doing business with a company who gives back to the men and women who volunteered to defend our country. Just dial pound 250, say micro. With Pure Talk's U.S. customer service team, you can switch in as little as 10 minutes. Again, dial pound 250, say micro, to switch to an American wireless company who actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
I saw her texting, coming up to a stop sign, and so I saw the accident coming, and she T-boned us.
In the blink of an eye, Crystal's life changed when she suffered a severe spinal injury.
The pain was something I had never experienced before in my neck. I got massage therapy. I saw a chiropractor. I was prescribed muscle relaxers so I could sleep. I got depressed. Nothing was relieving the pain.
Drugs, sleepless nights, and depression. Sound familiar? I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist. At Sound Pain Solutions, our treatments include high-dose laser combined with spinal decompression and other comprehensive therapies to rehabilitate damaged discs. We use treatments that are non-surgical, FDA-cleared, drug and pain-free.
I was able to get off my pain medicines, and I was able to sleep through the night, and that was what I was desperate for.
To learn if you're a candidate for our treatment, call us. Sound Pain Solutions. 855-996-0025 or click soundpainsolutions.com.
Let's go! You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Hey, listen to this. All I needed was a new starter. Got a great deal on eBay. Did it myself.
Yeah, that's cool. But how about the soft purr of an upgraded exhaust when it fits just right?
For me, it's the little things, like these new windshield wipers from eBay I installed. From small fixes to big upgrades, eBay has all the parts you need at prices you'll love, guaranteed to fit every time. eBay, things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
When you walked through your kitchen this morning, what'd you see? Did it make you happy? Hi, I'm Chad Cicchini, owner of Heritage Homecraft. Well, I want to make you happy. We'll custom build you all new cabinet doors and drawer fronts, and using our exclusive 1/4-inch solid wood refacing process, transform your existing cabinets into a beautiful new kitchen. Add a custom quartz countertop, change things up a bit, add some more cabinets, install some cool new features like soft close drawers and sliding shelves, whatever you like. We'll help you to create the new kitchen you'll be proud of. All in about a week, and all with way less mess, hassle, time, and expense than the tear out. Stop waiting. For 18 years, we've been honored to serve thousands of happy customers, and we'd love to serve you. Call today and I'll get one of our pros to come out and show you how easy and comfortable it'll be to get going on your new kitchen. Heritage Homecraft, 425-485-1600, 425-485-1600, or heritagehomecraft.com.
Many retirees are enjoying the retirement lifestyle, but not the high cost of living. We're here with our friend Steve Teitler of Best Mortgage, who says a reverse mortgage may provide some stress relief.
If you're struggling with your mortgage payments or other bills, or maybe you just like some extra money, a reverse mortgage allows you to tap your home equity for tax-free cash. You've worked hard to build up that equity in your home. Now let it work for you. And best of all, you'll have no mortgage payments the rest of your life.
But as you always say, a reverse mortgage is not for everyone.
That's right. Avoid the high-pressure sales pitch from those out-of-state call centers. I give you a consultation, not a sales pitch. I'll tell you if a reverse mortgage is right for you, and I always tell you if it's not.
Honest advice you can trust from the reverse mortgage experts. Best Mortgage, the VA loan experts and debt consolidation specialists too. 425-649-6000. Best Mortgage, 425-649-6000.
If you use carpool or toll lanes along SR 167 without a Good-to-Go account, you'll now receive a bill in the mail. That is a change. A Good-to-Go pass saves $2 on every toll. That is not a change. Learn more at goodtogo167.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Heather Bosch.
There is very little that can stop our Category 5 hurricane.
Hurricane Melissa is a Category 5 as it slowly makes its way across Jamaica. Director of the Meteorological Service of Jamaica, Evan Thompson.
It will cause catastrophic damage, life-threatening damage.
It is expected to be the strongest storm to hit the island since they started keeping records 174 years ago. The fragile ceasefire between Israel and Hamas appears to be breaking down. Israeli airstrikes have hit 3 positions in Gaza, Israel accusing Hamas of violating the peace deal by returning the wrong remains of a hostage. The BBC's Frank Gardner.
Hamas from their side say, look, we've had 2 years of carnage here. Gaza Strip has been absolutely pummeled from the air and from artillery and from tank fire and from demolitions. It's impossible for us to immediately find all of these bodies straight away.
U.S. strikes have destroyed 4 more alleged drug-running boats off Mexico's west coast. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth says narco-terrorists will be hunted and killed. President Trump has suggested land strikes in Venezuela could come next. Today is the first day of the 28-day federal government shutdown that air traffic controllers are getting nothing in their paychecks. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch has more from SeaTac Airport.
Air traffic controllers here in Seattle are spending the day handing out informational pamphlets. They say they want the flying public informed about what's going on with the shutdown and the potential consequences, particularly among air traffic controllers who may be distracted. National Air Traffic Controller Association Vice President Mark Roush.
How am I going to put food on the table? How am I going to pay for gas to go to work where I'm going to get a $0 paycheck?
James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
As the shutdown continues, thousands of Washington families are poised to lose their SNAP food benefits at the end of the week. Veronica Pena tells KIRO 7 TV she depends on SNAP due to her disability and unemployment.
There's a lot of people that are going to be going through that. And I don't just worry for me. I'm worried more about all the little kids out there.
Washington is joining 25 states and the District of Columbia suing the Trump administration for suspending SNAP benefits. They're demanding the agency use contingency funds to continue those benefits. On Wall Street, the Dow was up 264 points. NASDAQ ahead 256. KIRO News Radio traffic. Here's Nate Connors.
Thanks, Heather. It's getting busy out there. Global Credit Union has our update. Let's start with a ferry alert. The Edmonds-Kingston route has been suspended for at least 1 hour due to a train-car collision right there at the Edmonds terminal. And then we have our ongoing traffic alert out in Mason County, just north of Belfair. This collision has southbound 3 and Northwest Flora Road blocked in both directions. Detours are set up. Still seeing backups approaching the Hood Canal Bridge from both sides due to earlier marine traffic closures. The drive through Seattle looking good, though. South 5 has a little crowding from about Northeast 50th to the Convention Center. South 405 beginning to fill in through Factoria, but Bellevue to Renton is still less than 15 minutes. Global Credit Union, where members enjoy no-fee accounts and early payday with direct deposit. Learn more at globalcu.org. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Rain today with highs in the mid-50s. It's 51 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
welcome back to the show. Hey, in about a half hour, we're going to be joined by a local state legislator, Travis Couture, who's going to join us to talk about that guy who kept getting hired in Auburn, Charlie Harger's story about the convicted rapist, child rapist.
Right, Seeley?
Yes.
Or Headley? How should we refer to him?
Originally Josh Headley, then rebranding himself without filing the correct paperwork, apparently, and starting this other media company where he was then hired by a bunch of local campaigns, including the local school district, to,
for school levies, shooting
like
videos of high schoolers and junior high schoolers.
This is a guy who was locked up for rape of a child, third degree. Why they kept hiring this guy, nobody knows. The thing that we're talking about with Travis, though, and also some other stuff, is why hasn't the local media picked up the story? It just seems to be like totally memory hold by them. Nobody wants to talk about it. It's confusing, and the only place I'm seeing it is from us and online. So we just want to highlight it. Great work by Charlie Harger, by the way. You guys should read that story. It's unbelievable. All right, this is happening, and that's at 1 o'clock. So tune back in for that at 1 o'clock. This is happening in SeaTac right now. There's an Uber scam in SeaTac. Did you see this, Spike?
I did see this. It's terrifying because I've used the service from SeaTac. So, this could have been me and my kid.
Could have been you.
Could have been any of us who uses the service. And I'm amazed at is it the port commissioner that's quoted in this story? I don't want to misquote. Okay.
Yep. Sam Cho, is that the name?
Cho, yeah. How, like you said, it's not that they're cavalier, they don't care about it. They're looking into how it happens.
Yeah.
I mean, that's my thought too. How does anybody?
How is this possible?
I mean, here you've taken an Uber.
Yes.
Taken an Uber from the airport.
Yes.
It seems pretty easy. They've got a description of the car, face of the driver, all in your phone.
Yep. You should be able to verify like 4 different things you should be able to verify.
Including the license plate of the car picking you up.
Yes. Isn't there also a thing where you can see how close the car is to you?
Exactly. The whole time it's coming to you.
You just line up the dot. You're like, all right, well, this dot's getting closer. Yeah, that must be my guy.
My guy says he's still 5 blocks away, or he's waiting on the drive.
This is his name. You can confirm all these things. So what's happening apparently, though, this is the SeaTac Uber scam. This was posted on Reddit. It's kind of gone viral, and people are now sharing this information to help others not get in this situation. Let's see. This is I saw this on Fox 13 where we saw this. A passenger wrote that they had booked a ride home at around 6 a.m. and they were matched with a black Tesla. When they saw one nearby, the driver waved them over. This is all from Fox 13. According to the Reddit post, the trunk is open, obscuring the license plate from view. That should have been my first red flag. Once inside, the passenger said they quickly realized something was wrong. Oh, I think we have audio on this. Sorry, Laura, we have audio. Here we go. Oh, no, that's from Port Commissioner. We'll get to him in a second. The passenger said they quickly realized that something was wrong. I asked to be let off before exiting the SeaTac parking structure, but he complained that there's no safe place to park. The poster then claims that the driver, quote, proceeds to drive in the opposite direction on I-5 from my destination, then starts bargaining with me to Venmo him money. What I'm hearing here, and I'm not a lawyer, but it sounds like somebody has just been taken hostage, and they're now negotiating for your release.
Pardon me. That's exactly what it sounds like. I don't know how else you would describe this.
There's no bargaining for money to be exchanged.
Yes, he's bargaining with you. How much? Give me what I want, or I'm not going to let you go. And they let him off on the side of the freeway.
Yeah,
they dropped this guy off, and the guy refused to pay.
The guy refused to pay, and they said, "Well, then I'm not gonna keep holding you hostage." Is basically what it sounds like. So the story caught the attention of the Port Commissioner of Seattle Port Commissioner Sam Cho, who talked to Fox 13 about it, and that we have some audio on. Here we go.
Honestly, this is the first time that I've heard of this type of case where you have someone who's not an actual Uber driver trying to extort, essentially, people for money. And so it's very concerning. My suspicion is that it's not the first time that it's happened. I'm just glad this individual posted publicly and created awareness around it so that I could eventually get to it and respond. Like, God forbid anyone ends up in a similar situation as that. I think this individual tried to contact Uber at first, but I would highly recommend just calling 911 right away.
You know how scary that would be? Sitting in the back of the seat of a car that's
heading the wrong direction.
That's a movie. That's like a nightmare scary movie. We talked about scary movies yesterday.
Yeah.
This is exactly the plot of a scary movie.
So I'm trying to figure out how the dynamics of this. He says he hasn't heard of this happening before.
Yeah.
Imagine if this had happened to someone before, the police would know about it, and the port commissioner, or they would know about it.
I'm surprised
because this person
it happened at all.
Me too. So Did this person hack Uber? Does he have access to who?
So. Listen,
is waiting for what?
What is probably the most common car that you see around the Seattle metropolitan area? It's got to be a Tesla.
A Tesla, yeah.
Either white or black.
Yeah.
And that would be very easy if you see somebody waiting out there and you just drive up in a Tesla.
And somebody waves you. So the passenger saw the guy coming and waved him over. Hey, you're my guy.
You have your trunk open. You're driving over your trunk open. You're just waiting for somebody to recognize you. And now you know, they must be looking for a black Tesla because they're waving at me.
They wave the black Tesla over, and then the guy pops it. You can't drive with the trunk open. The guy pops the trunk when they get there to obscure the license, because the license plate is attached to the lid of the trunk. But before you
could pop a trunk. I could
pop while driving?
Sure.
Okay, there's your clue. Don't ever get an Uber that's driving with its trunk open, first off. But there's a front plate, too.
300 feet before, you stop, you put it in park, you hit the button, it pops up.
Uber's pretty thorough in how they identify the driver that's coming to get you.
They do
like you said, you can see a map with them coming for you.
Uber does recommend 4 things. They spoke to Fox 13 about this. They said, hey, we don't want this to happen. It's bad for Ubers. They didn't do this, but it's bad if somebody's using their system to defraud people. They say look for a driver's photo, their name, license plate, and the vehicle's make and model. So it sounds like
before you get in, before you throw the luggage in the trunk, right?
But the license plate was obscured because it was the trunk was up, so you weren't seeing that. You got to ask the driver's name. And you got to see their photo to verify.
These are verified. That's the right word. Uber's safe. There's background checked, right? I mean, to get an Uber license,
I hope so.
You got a pretty high threshold to become a licensed Uber driver, a contracted.
I don't know that.
Okay,
but I would assume so.
I would assume so. Yeah. Well, I mean, you at least know that they are licensed to drive.
They're
vetted in some way, and their license plate is part of their vetting process. That's going to pull up in front of you. I mean, it's a horrible story, but a lot of it falls on the guy who got in the car.
Yes.
Have you ever been down to the pickup? You've been to the pickup place. There's a level on SeaTax parking garage that is for ride shares. That is for services.
Like when they take you to the offsite parking lots?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, when Uber picks you up, when Lyft picks you up, there's a place that you go to. I often see other drivers there trying to negotiate. Hey, I can get you there cheaper. You want
to pick up some strays?
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Unlicensed, unverified. Don't ever do that. Gosh.
It's just crazy to me that somebody would be so brazen to take somebody against their will in the wrong direction, bargaining with them. I'm going to get you further and further away from where you want to go.
Venmo me money.
Give me money. That's not. Is that not taking somebody hostage? I mean, is that not kidnapping? It seems like kidnapping.
I can't find any other way to describe it than
like
kidnapping.
Yeah. Go get this guy. PD.
And aren't you snapping a zillion pictures of this guy?
That's the other thing.
And you're in the car with this guy? Yeah, I'm snapping.
Everybody's got their phone out.
Right.
All right, we'll see what happens.
Please be careful.
Please be careful. We got a lot more coming up. We got some crazy weather heading our way for Halloween. It's also Halloween on Friday, which is a lot of fun. Lots of stuff to talk about, so stick around. We'll be right back.
A KIRO Newsradio exclusive.
This is Charlie Harder. I've spent the past 6 weeks investigating a story involving a youth pastor, child abuse, a mayor, and a name change, all while civic leaders appear to look the other way.
I've read the police report. It is horrible. It is sickening.
There's some level of calculation there.
You have to make it right.
How does no one have a problem with it?
Watch the full story at mynorthwest.com and the KIRO Newsradio YouTube page.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. Ever wonder why Big Wireless wants you on an unlimited plan? They probably want you to cover the cost of those 20-somethings using all that data every month. But most people 50 and up like me only use 12 gigs or less. Don't get bamboozled by Big Wireless. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Our plans start at just $20, and we use the same towers as the big guys. Join the millions who choose something better, because if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
No, it's not too soon to start